What's going on, everybody? It's fragged out, swagged out, and you already know why I'm here. And today, I have an amazing fragrance. In the gourmand world, this is like at the very top. In fragrance, period. The performance, everything you're gonna find in this fragrance is top notch. But this fragrance right here, when it first came out, was an international exclusive release. And it still is. One store has it, the only place you can go to. So it took me a little longer to get my hands on it, and as soon as I saw King Gourmands, if you follow me on Instagram, it's one of the people I follow. King Gourmands talked about it, Felipe, and he was a very big fan. And I know he loves gourmands, and I know he loves Jousset Parfums. So I really took his word, and I went ahead and got my hands on this fragrance right here, and it is La Tarte Tatin. Probably never gonna commit that name to memory. I haven't even looked up what it means because I know how it smells, and that's the most important part of this fragrance right here. So let's get into this. First of all, this is their new box look, which I like. I said in the last video I did, the little placard on front of the box is actually the same one they put on the bottle. So, just something a little extra. But like I said about that last bottle, that's not why we come here. This right here, now this is why we're here. And by the way, Jousset's bottles keep getting better looking. The aesthetic gets better. This placard is really nice. And I don't know if anybody's caught this, but the parrot's gone. So they're not the parrot company anymore. Now they're just that company. But okay, so here it is. If you look at all their other black bottles, it's going to be very similar to all of them. The difference is the fact that number one, yes, they have that new placard. But if you look on the very bottom, it says Parfumix, luxury brand. Because right down here, because it is exclusive to their store. So before anything, we'll go over the notes. I'm looking at the website right now at the Parfumix luxury brands website, and the top notes say vanilla bean, tonka bean, and apple. The heart notes, however, are vanilla bean, tonka bean, and apple. And then the base you have vanilla and burnt caramel. So a whole lot of vanilla going on in here. And I can tell you this, if you like the vanilla you find in Accident à la Vanille, it has some of that rich smoky nature from that particular vanilla, but still sweet. So it's a sweet and smoky as far as the vanilla goes in the opening, right? Now I have some of the dry down here, and we'll use this for a reference later. We'll go right off of that. Very intoxicating opening, just amazing. So what do I get first when I'm smelling this? You get a very healthy dose of apple, and it is mouth-watering apple here. You get this combination, like I get this feel of like cinnamon baked apple, but some of it feels like fresh apple as well. So it's a nice little apple combo. I don't know what they did to do that. Or maybe it's just my nose taking from that kind of fresh, juicy apple, but blending in my head with that warm vanilla and that caramel that's giving it some of that cooked vibe to me. And I kind of feel like, although it doesn't say like there's cinnamon in here, I don't know if my head automatically, I associate baked apple with cinnamon, but I am kind of getting some of that in here. Oh man, but that vanilla, that apple, that tonka, just adding another layer of rich sweetness to it. And then of course you get back to the base, more vanilla on top of all the vanilla you've already got, and then that burnt caramel that ultimately, when you take that vanilla, that apple, that caramel, all these sweet aspects of it, and you put it all together with a little bit of smokiness and some spice, what I really do feel like this smells like, or what it brings to mind, is the idea of a freshly baked apple pie, caramel apple pie with a big healthy scoop of ice cream on top. This is creamy. This is a true gourmand. Like some gourmands just have some aspects of edible notes. This smells like it's something that can absolutely be eaten. This can be on a menu. This smells amazing. Now, what I can tell you, and you always get these questions, and I always say this, I do not spray a fragrance on, pull out a stopwatch, and see at what point I stop smelling it. It's never gonna happen. But the fragrances that stand out are the ones that I'm like, I forgot that I even had this on. Like hours later, 12 hours later, I'm like, what? I still smell this. Like, it's there prominently. And this is one of those fragrances. This and Accident à la Vanille, the original, are two of Jousset's like hardest hitting, longest lasting. This is definitely one of them. I would say that in terms of having an exclusive for Jousset, Parfumix definitely chose the right one. It's a beautiful gourmand. It's a beautiful fragrance by itself. The projection is amazing and it lasts forever. Now, if you go on my Instagram channel, you'll see when I introduced this to some of my friends down here in North Carolina, and Yellow Scents, Honeybee, Claudia Nyree, they all smelt it, and the first thing they did is they all ordered a bottle that same day. This is real stuff. This is amazing. I can't say enough good things about this. So glad I got it. If you love gourmands, you definitely need to try this. Like, sometimes something is too much or too... If you're not into a real rich, heavy gourmand, then listen, this might not be for you. But if you love gourmand fragrances, like I love gourmand fragrances, like Felipe from King of Gourmands over on Instagram love gourmand fragrances, then you definitely need to check out this amazing gourmand fragrance. Apple, caramel, vanilla, all over. From top to bottom, there's something edible in this fragrance, and it's going to last all day. You need to check this out. Lastly, what I will tell you is that since it is an exclusive, Parfumix Luxury Brands.it is the location where you can order this. It is 96 euros, which translates to about $104 or $5, depending on the day, and then you deal with the shipping as well, which is why a lot of people shy away from the international exclusives and why it took me so long to finally get this fragrance. But if you are still interested, with all that said, I will have all the information in the description. And like I always say, look, if you have something to add to this video, if I left out a very important detail that you think needed to be heard, you can go ahead and put it in there. If you disagree with me because you smelled this, you can put that in there too. I'm fine with all that. But if you got something from it and you enjoyed this, leave that in there as well. Plus, go ahead and throw a thumbs up. And if you've been watching this channel and you have not subscribed already and you know you're going to come back and watch more, because I'm going to come back with more reviews, then go ahead and subscribe now and get ahead of the game. That way you know when I finally do my next review. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is, hold on, because I told you I don't commit it to memory. This name is La Tarte Tatin. And all you need to know is vanilla, caramel, and an amazing baked apple smell that'll have you smelling delicious all year round. Check this one out. It's fragged out, swagged out, and I'm out.